Hi, Camille Angelo here at Gadachrili, Gora. I'm the Community Engagement Coordinator for this site, and today we're going to take a minute and sit down with our Visual Communications intern, Joey Close. Joey, how are you today?
Doing well, thanks. How are you?
I'm so good. So Joey, can you tell me a little bit about what brought you to Gadachrili, Gora?
Absolutely. So I've always had an interest in archaeology. However, I did go into communications. So I thought, what not a great opportunity to come here and be able to learn a little bit about archaeology, but also put my communications major into practice in the field.
So tell me a little bit about your day-to-day.
So my day-to-day, I'm here with all the other undergrad archaeologists. We're here from 7 a.m. to about 3 p.m., so they're kind of long days, but they are fun. And I'm kind of learning the ropes of archaeology slowly throughout that time. And then after, during lab time, I'm usually focused more on the communication aspects of the project, really trying to document the entire learning experience here for the field students, including myself. We're also starting up a blog, and we're going to be working on a lot of fun stuff coming up.
And long-term goals for communications in Gadachrili, Gora, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm really trying to right now work on a journalistic piece that's going to talk about the origins of wine in Georgia and how that kind of relates to the archaeological site that we're on right now, and just kind of the work that the students are doing here and exactly what we're trying to find on this site.
So what has been your biggest challenge as someone who specializes in communications to bring your expertise into the field?
I think when you're working with, I don't want to say a different type of person, but a different type of student that is into archaeology, it's something that I'm not familiar with at all.
Right.
So I'm trying to kind of bring in my knowledge and communication background and document something that's fairly new to me. But that's kind of why I'm trying to shape the story around the learning experience and learning curve for students, so they can kind of take the journey with me through my story.
Right, and I mean, fresh eyes are always good. What's been your biggest success, do you think, since you've been here?
I think my biggest success is kind of learning, a little bit about archaeology. Some of it does intimidate me a little bit. I was just learning how to draw over there, and it was a little intimidating. But I also think now that I'm kind of getting more into it, I'm starting to develop a story, starting to get to know my Georgian colleagues and the University of Toronto students a little bit better. So once that engagement has happened, or since it has happened, it's become a little easier to communicate that to the masses and the public.
And what has been your favorite part about working with Georgians? Any surprises?
They're just a lot of fun. They're definitely the life of the party on the site.
Always.
Yeah, there's never a dull moment. They're very bright, smart, and they're very good at what they do. So I think that's been really great for us to be able to interact with a different culture, but also they all share the same love, which is archaeology. So it kind of brings them together, which is quite nice.
And can you tell me a little bit about any surprises of bringing, or I mean, as you've worked as a journalist, you study communications, about bringing what you do at home into the field?
I think the biggest thing was coming up with a strategy beforehand, and again, I wasn't quite sure how it would go.
Yeah.
And archaeology is a little different because things do change day to day and quite frequently. So I mean, bringing a journalism background in communications, you kind of do learn to adapt quickly to an environment, and you do have to expect that changes are going to happen quite frequently, and you just got to kind of go with it. But sometimes your best work and stories come out of those challenges, so they're definitely something I'm grateful for.
And I guess my last question is, as archaeology moves a little bit more to something that we're trying to engage the public with, for someone else in your role, maybe on a different dig, what's the biggest piece of advice you give them?
In terms of, like,
practicality. So someone else, another communication specialist, is coming to an archaeological site. What would you tell them?
I would say definitely prep as much as you can and understand at least the basic terms of archaeology. And any moment that you get, really sit with the archaeologist and understand what it is that you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Because I think my first biggest mistake is I was so focused on communications that I was kind of moving away from why you really hear. So I would say that's the best. You know, just know your stuff, come prepared as best you can, and ask a lot of questions.
Thank you so much, Joey. And we'll see you soon from the field. Thanks so much.